At the very bottom of Lafourche Parish, where Bayou Lafourche finally meets the Gulf, there's a place that didn't start as a town, didn't start as a port, didn't even start as a road. It started as an idea. And today, that idea is called Port Fourchon. For most of Louisiana history, Fourchon wasn't a port at all. It was a rough, mosquito-infested stretch of marshland at the mouth of Bayou Lafourche. Barely accessible, barely developed, and known mostly to shrimpers and trappers. But its location was special. The closest land base to the deep Gulf of Mexico. A place where the bayou met the open water. In 1960, one man looked at that marsh and saw the future. Louisiana State Senator A.O. Rappelet pushed legislation to create the Greater Lafourche Port Commission, the birth of modern Port Fourchon. Rappelet's dream was bold. Build a port from scratch and lure the tropical banana trade away from New Orleans. He called it Fourchon City. Most folks laughed, but he didn't. The land came from Old South Lafourche families, Cajun, Constantine, LL&E, Wisner, who donated property to help the port get started. In 1961, the people of the 10th Ward taxed themselves to fund the port. That's how badly they believed in the dream. The early years were slow. A clamshell road was built in 1965. Bell Pass was dredged deeper in 1967. A harbor police department was created, and little by little, Fourchon stopped being a marsh and started becoming a port. By the late 1970s, Executive Director Ted Falgout arrived, and everything changed. The first major tenant, Martin Fuel, opened in 1979. Industry began to take notice. Then came the big shift, oil. Fourchon's location right at the edge of the Gulf made it the perfect base for offshore drilling. Today, Port Fourchon supports roughly 95% of all deepwater oil and gas activity in the central Gulf of Mexico. More than 250 companies operate out of Fourchon, sending supplies, workers, and equipment to rigs across the Gulf. It's also the land base for LOOP, the Louisiana Offshore Oil Port, which handles 10 to 15% of the nation's entire domestic oil supply. Every month, around 15,000 offshore workers pass through Fourchon. Every day, trucks and vessels move millions of dollars of cargo. But the name Fourchon isn't just about oil. It's about the people, shrimpers, tugboat captains, welders, rig hands, and generations of Cajun mariners who built the port from nothing. It's about a community that taxed itself, donated land, and kept pushing until the marsh became a gateway to the Gulf. So what's in the name Port Fourchon? Senator's dream. A community sacrifice, a marsh turned into a port, and the beating heart of America's offshore energy industry. Port Fourchon just isn't a name, it's the story of how Cajun grit built the front door to the Gulf of Mexico.